Hello, and you are listening to On Balance podcast on with success. My name is Lương Ngọc Tiên. I am the host of the show. We bring you stories and wisdom from the East and the West to help you find more balance, well-being, and inspirations for life. Today, our podcast is going to be about success, and I'm very honored to introduce with you Master Anil Chandwani. Master Anil Chandwani is an international speaker on inner transformation. He is the founder of the Reset Code, a process that focuses on individual wellness, health, success, and fulfillment. Besides creating and successfully selling multi-million-dollar companies, he learned and mastered the art of inner and meditation with Osho. For over 20 years, his passion is to share the gift that life has given to him to people in over 25 countries in the world. So today, we have a chance to have this conversation with Master Anil Chandwani. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today in our podcast on Balance on With Success.
Thank you for inviting me. Such a pleasure. Always.
I know you for many years already, but a lot of people who are listening to our podcast haven't had a chance to really have an interaction with you. So I really wanted to suggest that we start with a short meditation as a taste. What would you suggest?
Well, my favorite one is the one we were talking about just recently is waking up with laughter.
Waking up with laughter.
To reset the entire day.
Okay, so sounds like an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So mind wakes up before the body in the morning. So while you're still in your bed, if you want to try it, you can try it right now. So you'll close your eyes.
So and I close my eyes.
We can both do it together.
Yes. And so, I invite the audience to try it with us too.
So you're in your bed, and as I said, the mind wakes up before the body. But you let your eyes be closed. And then you begin by feeling gratitude for the gift of another day. And let a smile fill your heart. Let an inner smile fill your heart, as if your heart, the space in the center of your chest, getting filled with smile. And as you breathe, let the smile come and dance behind your lips, behind your eyes, and let the smile happen. Let the smile dance on your face, and then let the smile convert into a gentle laughter, like a little baby. And allow this smile to turn into a full laughter. And what you just did was reset your entire nervous system. This just sent a signal to your entire body. Reset the entire nervous system to rest and digest, rather than waking up already worrying about the day ahead. So we have a choice to send what signal we want to send to our nervous system. So this is a lovely way to start the day.
Thank you for the lovely gift. Yeah. And I just have the feeling I'm in good hand since you're here. Actually, my mind is empty right now, even though I know we have a conversation to share, and you're somebody whom I myself have learned a lot, and it's also my wish for our audience today to have a chance to really be in an intimate conversation with you.
Wonderful. I'm excited.
Yeah. So let us start with the story that you began, because for the topic of success today, I know a lot of us see success as an aspiration for life. A lot of people see success as a purpose of life. And we do our best. We learn everything we can. We fail. We try it again so that we can become successful. And today is a day where I really hope that through your personal story and the way you make success a part of your life, but not the center of your life, I don't know how, we're going to learn a lot from the way it is and how it can be even better for a lot of people who are on the same path right now.
Sure.
So let's start with you at a young age. How did you begin your whole journey to become a serial multi-dollars entrepreneurs, business maker, etc.? How did that happen?
It did not start like that.
How did it start?
It did not. I was born in India, and just an ordinary middle-class family and working father. My father was not a business person. So I studied. In India, you have to study. You don't have much choice there. And I received the gift of education, which I really, really appreciate and honor now. It's important discipline. So I studied engineering, and I came to America after completing my engineering from India as a young person. Not much in my pocket. I landed in America with hardly $300, and that I had borrowed, actually. So my journey in America started with nothing.
Was you entirely your own? Like your whole family was still in India, and you're like the only person?
Yeah, I came to America at an invitation of my college roommate. So only one person I knew in America was my friend.
And you borrowed about $300 in your pocket.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good beginning.
Yeah, that's how it all started. But I was very clear that I had not come to America to work. For me, what was very important, Tien, was I wanted to be a job generator, not a job seeker all my life. And this decision I made when I was graduating, when we would appear for interviews on the campus, there was so much tension in everyone's eyes, when we would go for interviews, because everyone knew that one person will get the job and others would be rejected. I was good at expressing myself, so I was getting a lot of jobs. I got 7 jobs on campus. And that day, I think during my graduation speech, I had decided that I would be a job generator rather than a job seeker. I don't know why I made that decision, but it started from there. So when I came to America, I was very clear that I had not come to work. I was looking, but I had no money, I had no background, family support to start a business. So it all started with that quest that I wanted to be a job generator.
And did I understand from your conversation that you turned down the job offer?
Well, I started in India. The only job I have held in my life is the one I took on campus. So that's the first and my last job.
The first and the last job.
I studied engineering, so I had to try something. Yeah. So I worked as an engineer for 2 years in India.
Yeah.
So my first and last job.
So then after that day on the campus, what led you to this whole path of becoming an entrepreneur? And you set up a few companies.
Correct. So all my companies happened in America. So when I came to America, I started my first little adventure. Without money, what you can do in America is only become a distributor of a product. So there was a new product in the market, and they were looking for a distributor. And that's how we started. And I did not know sales. I did not study marketing or sales. That's another story, how I became successful with that. So ultimately, I learned that I was good in sales because I was not trying to sell.
That's very important for salespeople to learn, that you don't sell them.
Yeah, you
don't sell the product. Yeah. And then after that distribution business?
I started multiple companies. What we were doing, my passion was creativity. I was always looking, because when you don't have money, you have to tune into what your resources are, what you have. And you look at things, you don't have to really reinvent. So my gift was that I was able to, in America, there was this cliched saying, think outside the box. And I couldn't see any box, So for me, sky was the limit. So there was no box for me. So what I started to do was I looked at what was happening in the businesses that were there, the opportunities that were there, and build upon that, expand them into a different way, look at them in a different way. So for example, One of the companies we started was about merchandise promotions. So there was advertising agencies and there was merchandise promotions, and no one had decided or thought about merging them. So become an agency concept. So we created several concepts early on, blending multiple businesses. Some of the crazy ideas I had were ahead of time. In 1999, we launched the first outsourcing company. Internet was still in the modem days. We were dialing the 28.4 speed modem. That's when we launched our first outsourcing company. Ahead of time, but I was very, very lucky. So multiple companies happened here because I was saying yes to life. I felt it that there is an opportunity, there is a possibility, and I said yes to it. All the companies we created were unrelated, but there was an opportunity, and I would see that there is a gap, and I would say yes. And that's how it all happened, multiple companies.
So that journey of becoming successful in business, for you, it was like before you reached the age of 30?
Around that time, and there was a bump in the road. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce at the time, and divorces are never fun in America. But, I had myself, I had my skills, my strengths, and I restarted my life. It happened, my peak happened in my 30s, yes. Yeah.
Am I correct to imagine that during that point of time, you would, like any person who are very much engaged in having a great career and building multiple businesses, that you're very busy, on the time working, on the time thinking and engaging with life? How would you describe your being, yourself, during that period?
It was not an easy period. In America, to be a single father and run multiple companies with, my family was not there. So my support system was not very strong. But my gift happened through meditation at a very early stage. I got very interested in meditation. And what anchored me, what became my passion, was meditation. And I think that turned my life in a very different way.
When did meditation happen to you? Like, when did it come as part of your life?
Well, when you're born in India, you're born with meditation, sort of. But as a prayer, meditation came into my life at a very young age as a prayer. And prayer, very beautiful prayer that our mother taught us, was about gratitude, being grateful for what we have. Meditation as a science came in my life through Osho. When I first time came in contact. And I went to study meditation in India after a death of a very dear friend, when I saw we were together and he unfortunately had an accident. So when I saw his body turn into ashes in 3 minutes, you press the button and poof, the body's gone. All that remains is a bunch of ash. That turned my life around, and I wanted to understand, what is this all about? What's life all about? So that's when I went to India to understand and study science of meditation.
At that point of time, you were still having your companies?
Yes, young companies, young daughter, but nothing mattered. I wanted to find out that there has to be something more about life. So my energy started to move. My interest started to move in something beyond the material world. Yeah.
Could we pause here and try to understand, the intensity or the gravity of the decision you made? Because leaving America, returning to India, saying to yourself, I'm gonna discover or go deep and understand something. How was it at the decision for you? Was it easy to make? Was it like, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a try. If it doesn't work, I go back to my normal life? How was it for you?
That's a very beautiful question, Tien. It was not like that. I did not give up my companies. I stepped out. I created the system. I was very clear that, I was a creator. I was not an administrator. I was not very good at running companies. I was good at creating concepts, ideas. So it was very easy for me to step back. My interest to go to India was supported. I think existence was very kind to me because my family was still there. I had businesses in India. So coming to India was an excuse that I'm coming for business and to visit my family. But truly my interest was to come to the meditation. So every time I would come, I would add more time to spend time in meditation and at the meditation resort. So while the companies were happening, I was also learning the science of meditation. And the decision, Tien, was not a decision. It was choiceless. It was like something pulls you, something takes you in that direction. It was not something I was choosing. It was just happening.
I love how you describe it. And I can relate to the situation where there is a calling, an interest that is very intense, but there's also on the rest of life that we are still having, like the outer matters of everything that we are responsible for. And that also are important in our life. And there's this calling that is important for myself, for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have to manage both. So I really relate to how you actually manage to come back to India at that point of time, still to make time for meditation every time a little more. I'm also curious, how long did it take you until it actually become a full-time decision and no longer a part-time or a shared-time decision like that?
That was also very interesting. When I was graduating as an engineer, I was 21. And jokingly, I said it in my speech that I studied for 21 years, I'm going to work for 21 years, and then I will let my money make money, and I will live my life. And it was so funny that at 42, I was so done with my companies. I had 5 active companies, but my passion and interest had moved to meditation. At that age, I was also invited to be part of the management team at the Osho Foundation, Osho International. So it all came together. But I realized it much later that I had wished that. Yeah. I had wanted to work for 21 years. And at 42, I stepped out of my companies and I stepped into the world of giving back what life had given me through meditation. So it all came together. There was definitely support from life and existence and blessings, So, and I had courage to say yes, the energy, the wind was taking me somewhere. Something was happening and I said yes, because we were at the peak of success in our companies and I was young and it was not that I had a lot of money in my bank. But as I say, it was choiceless. It kind of pulled me. The wind took me in this direction. I don't want to take all the credit, but I did say yes.
It's very interesting for me to hear you saying that 21, at 42, on decisions, on the arrangement around you were actually right for you to take that step into becoming a part of the Osho International Management Board, which has been an honor and it's not a job for you because you said you no longer had a job since your first job. How would you describe your being, yourself, when you come into that phase, the phase after you actually become a full-time meditator?
Well, Tien, the gift of meditation is that you come in contact with yourself, your individual intelligence as an I, not the learned knowledge that is given to you by other people. So what meditation did for me as a process was unlearning. And that has now become my work. When I work and with people, what we do is we unlearn. And that was my gift. When I unlearned my learned knowledge, whatever we do is based upon the image we create of ourselves, what is told to us by others. So the more I was coming in contact with myself, the more fun life was becoming. The more I was coming in contact with my individual intelligence, the more naturally I was doing things. That has been the gift, living that individual joy, individual intelligence has been it.
You have been describing yourself as a creative person, as somebody who make your own decision and really have the courage to say yes. And I also have a few years, very fortunately, experience the active Osho meditations myself, and the word courage, the word totality, the word authenticity, and creativity, we come across them when we do our meditation, when we learn about the art of being an individual who have access to freedom, but not the freedom because you have money or you have the financial support, but actually the total freedom, from within. Can you shine the light on it? Like, what's freedom mean in this case for you?
First I want to acknowledge your journey. I remember you from 10 years ago when I came to this country first time, and you were translating a course for me, and I've seen your journey as a meditator, as an individual, and you're flowering. So beautiful. So I definitely want to honor that. What a courageous journey. What a beautiful journey. So yeah, really beautiful and inspiring. So what freedom means, it means everything. Freedom is when we free ourselves from the conditioned self as in, so I'm born in a Hindu family, I'm born in India. So as a Hindu family, the other religions are not part of my understanding, or I don't care for them. I'm born in India, so other countries are enemies, who's friends, who's enemy. I choose my friends, I choose my way of being based upon what is taught to me by society, by parents, by priests, politicians. Freedom from that conditioned self, conditioned belief system is true freedom for me, Yes, of course, in the outer world, money can bring you freedom, but freedom inside, internally from these belief systems is what I call freedom.
I think we reached an important part of our podcast because I really want to talk about success today. Because, like I said, we want to be successful, and we assimilate being successful, give us the conditions, give us the resources so that we can become happy. What are the conditioning of success that need to be unlearned in this case?
Well, success for me is being able to live my life.
Being able to live our life.
In the most authentic way.
In the most authentic way.
Yeah. Loving what I do.
To love what you do.
Every day.
And every day.
Yeah, loving
Not
what I do every
time
day. Yeah. Fulfilling my purpose. What's my joy? What makes me feel like me? Live that joy. In the most authentic way, yeah.
In the most authentic way.
That's success for me.
How do we bring that success into work? Because I don't know if it's a conditioning about work, but work is hard. Work is effort. Work is responsibility. Work is a way to earn an income to feed your family, to earn you the next holiday that you wish for. That how work is for most of us.
Yes. Well, success has multiple definitions depending upon where you are in the circle of life. So for a student, it could be graduating. For graduate, it could be getting a job. For someone, it could be getting a car, their first home. So there's many definitions of success. And of course, it's important. Of course, it's important to have financial success, But having financial success without emotional health, physical health, mental health means nothing. So success also is an inside job, So understanding success, redefining success at an early stage in the career. Your assistant was driving me here, and she was asking me about how to choose jobs, which job to take. And this is a question I get a lot in this country because there are a lot of young people in India here. Not so much in America, how to choose, But these decisions, I think it's intelligent to make these decisions at a young age. When you choose money, decisions based upon money, and you are not feeling happy, well, there are only two games we play. There is money and happiness. So you can have all the money, but if you're not happy, it means nothing. Now, you can go after happiness and not have something to eat, that means nothing either. So I think it's a combination of the two. In the outer world, having financial success is very important. It has to be learned, it has to be done, and it's very possible. I did not get a rainfall at the age of 42. It was a strategy. There was a planning. And unfortunately, no colleges or schools teach financial success. So financial success has to be learned at a young age, how it can be done. And it's not so difficult. On the inner side, this whole running after happiness, that this will give me happiness. If I have this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I have this, then I will be able to do that. That's a crazy idea. If we reset this at the early on, that it's all one, so you make your decisions in combination of what gives you money, what also gives you happiness. It also fulfills your inner purpose. Because what I say for success doesn't happen one fine day. We have to move. We have to make decisions from every aspect that way. And then it grows. You start to see that, yes, I don't have a lot of money, but I feel more fulfilled. I feel more joyful, showing up every morning as my best self, showing up every morning and doing what I love. So then you start creating, not a word that I enjoy very much, balance. You start creating more harmony in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard a few things that I think it's going to be useful just to take it step by step. You say two things about when people look for money or for happiness, and if you have this without that or that without this, then eventually you suffer because there's something unfulfilled, with or without, this or that. So I'm going to talk about this first, the needs to have something so that you are secure, because security, having a sense of security is so important. It's in our gene, in our instinct. We have to be safe. We have to secure life. And the more people you want to take on in your life, the more secure or the bigger security you need to have, for yourself and for them. And because of that, because of the society we're living today, because of how fast we have grown as a humankind, on the technologies, on the conveniences, everything. Just keep asking us to do more in order to have more, in order to be able to secure more. So you are always, I don't know how many steps behind or below the goal you want to reach for that security. How do we do with that?
The whole game of marketing, is pivoted, in my understanding, on one thing. Only one thing. You're not enough.
Okay.
So whatever you have, the hair, the way it looks, your nose, the way it looks, your body, the way it looks, the money, the way, your house, whatever you have is not enough. That's the marketing game. And if you buy into that, you are on this wild, what they call it, you're in this wheel, running after something.
Let's put the word marketing aside. I think marketing or not, we all work with human insight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it means we have this, embedded in our system. This is the way we think. This is the way we look at things. If we have one thing, tomorrow we say, why not two? And it keeps adding on. So it's something us. We have to be responsible for this.
Absolutely. I think you said something very beautiful, and it touched my heart when you shared that. Mind works like that. This is what mind does. But mind is not our operating system for everything. So mind does mathematics very well, numbers very well. But there is more to life than numbers, than more. More is a numbers thing. So there is heart, there is a component of the heart, there is joy in life about other things. There is music, there is friendships, there is nature, there is silence, the inner silence, meditation. So when we create, when we just focus on only one thing, that's where everything becomes lopsided. So because our operating system, our entire energy is in our heads, we are doing everything. We are doing our math with our mind. We are doing our music with our mind. We are doing our meditation with our mind. That's why the mind is going crazy. 75% of the hospital visits have become stress-related.
And people use stress as the word to describe themselves. as if it's your property, your asset.
Crazy.
Whereas it's not. Yeah. You shouldn't want to hold something like stress as an asset or as a description for who you are. Saying you're a stressful person is the worst thing you want to say about yourself.
And think about that. The stress management has become a word.
I'm one of the instructor who always was asked to do stress management, and I really want to stay away from that.
Yeah, but don't you want to manage what is good in life?
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Why you want to manage stress? Yeah.
So I think your point being that the mind, becoming aware that that's how the mind operates. Mind always wants more of what it likes. That's greed, right? Greed for whatever it likes. That's the nature of the mind. More of what it likes.
Greed and aspiration, how do we distinguish? Because I have aspiration to do more, because I have a dream of a better world. I want to do this and that for others. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of business owners, entrepreneurs are like that.
Well, see, greed for me is a game of zeros, So you have 6 zeros, then you want the 7th zero and the 8th zero, then you keep adding
That's
zeros.
The game of zero, you said. Okay.
Greed for me is a game.
Adding numbers, bigger numbers.
Correct. But as an entrepreneur, when you create companies, there are 2 types of entrepreneurs. There are entrepreneurs that create companies for self, but companies are never individual. Companies have a lot of people. So when you make your purpose, when your empathy, when your compassion includes the world overall, if what your company is doing is solely for your benefit, that's crazy. That's not entrepreneurship. So when you are an entrepreneur and you are mindful of how it impacts the world overall, the people who work in your company. So when the purpose of what you're doing is bigger than your individual self, then grow the companies, make them as big as you want. But not because you become a trillionaire or a billionaire and are doing space rockets like a little kid, rather than taking care of employees who are fighting for insurance, who don't have benefits.
One time you told me something, and it was very important. I was like, during the pandemic last year, I was having a hard time juggling with, what do I do and how do I take care of myself? And I think we were having a small chat, and you were saying something to me as a tip. You said, Tiên, take a piece of paper, write down the good things you did, and just remember it. You take note of it. You told me to remember the good things I have already done, so that whenever life hit me in a bad way, or I feel bad about, whatever things that was going on, I would remember the good accounts that I have done.
So beautiful, so true.
And it was so useful. And I have to again say thank you that it helped me at that point of time. And I share this because I think what you were sharing about, having a company, doing something that's bigger than yourself, not going after the number, it simply means that we make other values or impact more obvious, more apparent, more visible also. When we grow people, when there are well-being in the company, when there are services that actually, is not giving you money back, but actually is really helping your customers, your audience to be better, that is accountable for your bank. You're richer because of a sum of that, and not because of the number only.
Yes, so well said, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know there are many other things relating to business because people still struggle a lot. Like, if they struggle because of the difficulties of everyday life, but they also struggle because of the expectation about themselves and what they want to do with life. Because I don't know if it's true or not, but I think when we look forward into our life, we always think of life as very limited. And if I have only this one life to live, the work hard, play hard, become one of the motto, right? I need to work hard so that I can play hard. There's always a so that. There's always a, happiness that come after. Gratification that come instantly after. You have done something, you have earned some good income, or you have get a good, reward.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that? Because it's happiness still. It's give you this instant dose of dopamine that make you so high, that give you this, reason why I feel great about myself.
See, I think you say a very important thing, that I learned this early on with Osho, that there are certain religions that believe in multiple lives, reincarnations, and not one life. There are certain religions that believe in there's one life, so go for it. This is one life, get it or don't get it. But there are cultures, especially where I was born, that they're not in this lifetime, maybe in next lifetime. So they blame karma and destiny and other things about why they are living the way they are living. So I don't know about that part. To remind me your question again while I talked that I lost track of your
No,
question.
The time. People have a time constraint. That's why they're so stressed about being successful. They want it tomorrow. They want it this year.
Yeah. So I think what you were sharing was the question about happiness. They want. When I think about happiness, for me, it is my choice of looking at what is present in front of me. So happiness is a choice I am making. Happiness is not a reward. People say that I will work for 5 days, then I will get 2 days off. I will work for 10 months, then I get 1 month off. I will have this, then I will get that. See, this is how we are conditioned. So kids get rewards, and then we wonder why the whole world is addicted to sugar. I mean, look at what parents do,
Give them ice cream.
Always sugar as a reward, and then sugar becomes a reward system. Food becomes a reward system. Holidays become a reward system. Way we treat ourselves becomes a reward system. That's crazy, When we start living happiness as a choice, that it's my choice how I'm looking at this moment. So it's purely that. Then there is no Monday or Sunday. When we start integrating everything we do, So this duality, I think, is the problem. If work is something I do, holidays, something I have, that's crazy. Why can't I combine the two? Monday and Sunday, work and play. When we integrate within ourselves, then our life begins to integrate. And looking at life, doing what I enjoy to do, then all 7 days you live, all 7 days you play.
That sounds like a dream come true.
It is. Why not live your life like a holiday?
How to do that is the next question. But before I come to the how, I still think we talk about business, we talk about working, but relationship is also an important part in our life. And, successful relationship or successful, define whether or not I'm successful in life. People could look at what job you have, what social status you have, and what kind of family you have. Are you in the family? Are you married? Are you having children? And are you happy with all of that?
Yes.
And then it becomes, some kind of also another race to show how happy I am because of the kind of relationship, of partner, of children I have. Yeah. So that's why when somebody look at the social media, they count the likes on the pictures where they show, this size of their life. Yes. And then happiness become superficial as well. Yeah. So relationship.
Yes.
How do we? Because and I feel like I'm very much not the majority in this case. Yeah. Some people who know me know my my status. But it's also, I think, in this journey of me growing up and learning about myself and learning about the world, I cannot see relationship as a must-have or as something that add on to me. I cannot see it like that, because, it's another person, it's another family, it's another world that you had to integrate into yours. So I still think we need to learn something in order to do it well, in order to be successful in it. It's not just having a relationship. It's not about having.
Correct. Well, so we talked a little bit about physical health, right? So physical wealth, health as wealth. If you're not healthy, nothing means anything. See, then financial health. Say if you don't have financial health, that means you don't have freedom. So you are kind of dependent on someone else to provide for you. So physical health, wealth, then the financial health, the emotional health. Emotional health for me is to be able to experience whatever life is bringing you, to be able to express what you're feeling, is emotional health, right? Now, relationships, we are constantly in a relationship with environment, which we think we are not. Everything we do with the world, when we consume anything, people, country we live in, cities we live in, families we are with, and ultimately we are in relationship with ourselves. So you can try and fix this whole concept from outside. I am not in harmony. I am not in a healthy relationship with myself, and I want to fix the world. You know, people who are talking vegan and vegetarianism, you know, are doing crazy things to the environment. So it has to be inside out. So we have to get our relationship with ourselves right. When our relationship with ourselves becomes right, all the other layers, the 4 outer layers, start to fall in place. Other way around is not possible. So begin with setting your relationship right with yourself. Then comes the intimate relationships, because intimate relationships then become that your responsibility is to fix my problems. Your responsibility is to make me happy. So they become codependent very quickly. There, everyone is looking for someone else to fix their problems. Deep down, I think we are all looking for some big mama and papa to come and fix our problems, you know. When we take responsibility for ourselves, when we set our relationship right with ourselves, I think that's when outer relationships begin to happen. Now, for some, is it a priority? For some, it's not. For some, is it part of your value system and purpose in life? For some, it is not. That you have to honor individually, not to judge yourself. You know, I have been not in a married relationship for many, many years now. But these choices one has to honor and make. If you want it, then it's your responsibility to get it. If you are okay with not having it, then you're okay. No one else can decide for you.
You're saying something, and I just realized that for many of us who might not know about this or not aware of it, we ended up having a family anyway, having children anyway, being in the middle of, you know, a relationship, a family, or big family relations anyway. And then we realize that we haven't done the work for ourselves.
Well, you know, look at the mess right now. I don't know the divorce rate in Vietnam, but worldwide it's over 50%. If 50% marriages are failing, I think it's time to understand that there must be something intrinsically off, you know. The number of people who are married, out of that, I'm told over 70% are having emotional and physical affairs. It is saying something, that there is something wrong with the system. So to impose these systems that are not working for the world overall, then you try to impose that upon yourself is crazy. So I think really it's an individual choice. So everything begins with setting this right within yourself, and then things can begin to happen, yeah. Yeah.
When you say it about the world and, you know, how it's happening, it just pulled me back to, you know, whenever we have anything at all, we say, is it luck? You know, was I born with that? I'm a happy, lucky guy or not? I'm this, you know, unfortunate, unlucky person who always, no matter how hard I try, no matter how many job I have or relationship I've been with, I'm always the failure. I'm always the one who left behind. Was it because of me? How do we solve or help that person to, yeah.
Well, luck plays some part. You know, luck cannot be ignored. So imagine that somebody at your home, an elderly person during COVID, like I remember the cases in worldwide, that somebody at home needs an ambulance and you call ambulance. Now, the ambulance you're getting could be stuck in traffic 30 minutes away, or ambulance could be close to your house and immediately comes and it saves a life. Now, that's luck, you know, pure luck, that he happened to be there. So luck plays some I get an idea and I want to register that URL. And it happened to me. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning back in the days, and there was no chance when these URLs.com URLs were being sold, basic, buy.com or, calm.com. I woke up in the middle of the night as an idea that, is this URL available? It was available. Was I a genius? No, it was a simple word that was 100 years old, existing as a brand, as a company, but the URL was available. I would call that a stroke of luck that I woke up in the middle of the night and I registered it. So luck plays some role in success, but it's not the only thing. Personal perseverance, resilience, grit, effort, strategy, innovation, creativity, imagination, many factors play a role.
So luck or not luck, you still have to work on yourself.
Yeah, there are no shortcuts. This is one of the things that I have around the world when people talk to me about success. See, we try to reinvent the rules, Tien, and it doesn't work like that. Whether I buy a guitar or whether I want to learn tennis, there are no shortcuts. I have to practice. No Olympian. So practice is a big part of it. Then mindset is another part of it. The mindset, you have to be very clear that you can do it. I cannot be an Olympian. I cannot be a leader in anything if a part of my mind believes that I cannot. All of me, in my body, mind, heart, and soul, has to understand and believe that I can. Because I speak to myself 60,000 times a day. My thoughts is my communication with myself. So if my inner communication says, I'm not good enough, I'm not good, and I'm practicing for 6 hours, who do you think is going to win? 6 hours or 60,000 thoughts?
60,000 thoughts.
Absolutely. So everything, the journey of 1,000,000 miles does not begin with the first step. It begins with the thought. If your thoughts are not aligned with what you want to do, you will never get there. Never. Now imagine like you're going under surgery, or you're flying in a plane and there's turbulence and there is some risk, and the pilot says, I think I can land this plane.
I'm going to be in my super most panicking mode.
Yeah, you just know it. You have to know, I can do this. I can land this thing, I can win this race. I can do this.
And sometimes you do it even you haven't actually done it before. It's not because it's a belief, right? It's a mindset also.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a hope. Absolutely. Sometimes it has to come even before you actually do it.
Yeah.
Yourself.
And you feel it. If we do not set our thoughts right, we can never have our full power, full energy.
What you're saying, is it what we refer to the idea, the concept, the thoughts of The Secrets, the book that say the law of attractions, say things that if you think a thought, you attract the thought or you attract the reality?
Oh, no, I'm not a big fan of that theory and concept. So affirmations and thoughts don't change. What changes you is action, not affirmations. So affirmations are a beginning. See, I can think that I'm a great basketball player, but I have to go out and practice it. I can practice thinking that I can have a perfect free throw, but I have to go out and practice it as well. And so action changes. What affirmations do is set the energy and emotion right, that I can do this, Then you have the emotion, you have the energy to take the right action.
It sounds for me, and I feel like affirmation or, setting something as a vision is looking outward, looking forward, looking into the future, seeing you as a bigger self, a future self, with all the best scenarios that you can think of for your life, the life that you want. But there's also this meditation that takes you inward, that give you the access to this moment only. And this moment, I'm still in experience, not as successful, not happy yet, the way I want. So how do I make this? I don't know. How do I deal with this? Or how do I be okay with this and still having this solidity, groundedness to walk forward. How does meditation help or play a role in this case?
Well, meditation simply is how you do things. See, meditation is not sitting silently for 20 minutes or going to church on a Sunday. Meditation is how you do things. Meditation is an art of learning totality and playfulness that you said in the beginning. So can you approach your work, what you're doing, with totality? Not perfection. Big difference between perfection and totality. Can you be total? Can you not look for shortcuts? Can you really do what you need to do? So now you need a strategy. You need a clear destination. I'm leaving my hotel. I need to get here. I need to set the GPS, so I need a roadmap, way to go. So you need a plan. You need a strategy. You need innovation. And then most importantly, you need a game plan, step by step, how I'm going to get there. Approaching what is important, taking the big things first, what is the most important thing? Taking that first thing in the morning, handling that first before anything else is a very important part, do. What we don't do is, we don't get the energy. We procrastinate. We don't do what is important for us to do because of the pain, the resistance, the failure. Whether it's going to the gym because the body hurts, whether learning a guitar because it's frustrating. The initial steps are frustrating. The short-term gain can be a long-term loss, So what we have to do is define what is important for this business to succeed. So if I'm starting in sales, so I know that I have to make so many calls to get so many appointments. After so many appointments, I get so many sales. It's a simple math game. But if I'm not willing to make so many calls, I'm not going to get so many appointments. If I don't get these appointments, I'm not going to get so many sales. So I need to get a discipline to do the calls first. Now, how does meditation help? Totality, that you do it, period. You just do it, right? The discipline of doing it is part of meditation. Why people don't do it? Because I cannot meditate. Oh, I cannot sell. It doesn't work like that. Whatever you choose to do, the first part is to just do it. Look for excuses to do it, not look for excuses to not do it, whether it's meditation or your work. So you do the part, you do the difficult part first. Now, what that does is it instantly sets the reward chemicals in action. So when you take on the difficult things first, the brain releases the reward chemicals that you completed something. You must have seen it. I experience it when you do your exercise or your meditation first thing in the morning. So then the leakage of the energy stops. You start feeling that I can do it. I did it. 20 minutes of gym, 20 minutes of meditation, my breathing exercises. I have already reinforced my confidence in myself that I can do the difficult things. Then rest of the day becomes very easy.
Because work is easy.
It is easy.
Because you say it's not difficult to actually earn an income or become financially independent.
Absolutely, Tien, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But think about if you wake up and look at your likes in social media first. Most people wake up and they touch their phones first. If you start your day with comparison and competition with others, what signal do you send yourself? Then the life is repeating. Then you are always repeating in the past in competition and comparison, forgetting your uniqueness. Now, there's always somebody better than you. There's always someone out there better than somebody. We have to tether ourselves. We have to tether ourselves in our uniqueness, whether it's me as an individual or whether it's my company. There's not a business out there that doesn't have competition, but doesn't mean that you cannot succeed. You have to set your brand, your company, in its uniqueness, in its strength.
Have you just replaced the word success by the word uniqueness?
And did I?
Because it's also another way, right? If I need to be successful, then immediately I have all the values that make me less than who I am. Because successful, somebody would be more successful than you in any aspect of life. But if I'm unique, if I can be myself, if I can do the best I can in any moment of my life,
it can be the biggest gift for humanity. And 8 billion people out there. 8 billion people. So today we are able to connect with 8 billion people. Today we are able to learn from 8 billion people. Choice is ours. But what we do is we get into competition with 8 billion people. You're screwed. It's a mess.
Never.
Never. You'll mess yourself up. So learning this art and tethering yourself, pivoting yourself in your uniqueness. What is your skill set? What is your strength set? What is your personal value system? What is your purpose? What are you guided by? What expands you? Tethering yourself into your uniqueness immediately gives you the confidence, self-esteem, some key components for success.
And that's what meditation help a lot also.
Absolutely.
With self-awareness and self-knowledge.
Yes.
Yes, self-understanding.
Yeah. And, our school systems, our parents have to take some responsibility. They are not really doing anything. The entire system, even at home, kids are being compared to their brothers and sisters.
Unconsciously.
And they're being compared to the neighbors and cousins. In the school, we are always in competition and comparison. And that's a recipe for misery. That's a recipe for stress.
Though I have seen changes, movement towards being mindful parenting and, bringing more, not a competent system into the education.
Mindful parenting comes later. In my view, mindful producing should be the first thing. You look at how people...
you decide that, whether or not.
Look at how people are having children. To cut my hair, you need a license. To cut my nails, you need some qualifications. But to produce a child, there is no qualification. Anyone can produce children. And then these parents are really parenting them. We are worried about the wars and crimes, but where are all these kids coming from? They're coming from parents. They're coming from our school systems. So before mindful parenting, I think it should be mindful producing.
So the education moved younger and younger. Yeah, we should start with all of these awareness as
License
early.
to produce.
For teenagers, no. I think it's what you've just shared is also, we laugh about it, but we know what it means. When we look at our lives also, if we are in the middle part, but when we look at the younger generation, we also see that in them too. Because not only that they are very addicted to technology, every kid now has a smartphone, and they grow up in their virtual world. So they are all the time influenced by people who don't know who they are. People from different countries, not saying the same language even.
Everything can be a curse and everything can be a gift. Whether it's nuclear, can become a bomb and can become an energy source. Devices are in every kid's hand. Now, devices can be for consumption or for creation. And so many parents ask me this question about how to get kids off the devices. There is no question you cannot get them off the devices. Devices have become part of us. What we have to do is find creative ways so that the device is not just for dumb consumption. What I mean by that is 100,000 people watching a game. Go play the game, rather than just watch the game. Netflix and Amazon, there's so much content available for consumption. Parents have to take responsibility for how to use this instrument for creating, connecting with the world. Kids can today connect with kids from other countries. They can make friends. They can learn. We were writing letters. We had pen pals when we were little. We were waiting for 1 month to receive a letter from a friend from a foreign country. But now you can get it instantly. And you can have so many. But someone has to teach the kids. Otherwise, they will simply be consuming, and the more we consume, the more messy this whole game becomes.
So we have been talking like a lot, the world here.
Like we always do.
People, relationship, everything. And Anil, as of 2022 versus Anil at the age of 42, when you actually decided now it's time for you to on in meditation and the inner transformation world. How would you describe yourself? What is your biggest aspiration since then? And how are you in this journey so far?
I feel very blessed. I feel very grateful. I feel just tremendously joyful, that I have an opportunity to make friends around the world. I feel connected with the world. I'm more joyful, I'm more playful, I'm having more fun, and that's what matters to me. And I'm just very grateful for that, to have this opportunity to do this work, to share what life has given me back with the world.
I'm asking this question for the audience because we don't have an idea of, people have to do something to spend the hour, in every day. And since you have already made that choice not to work, but then, of course, you are a busy man and you travel the world, you do a lot of work with people. Can you help our audience to understand how's your day is, how your week is, how's Anil is on a normal day?
Well, as I said, what changed for me when I integrated my Sunday and Monday, when I integrated my work and holiday, everything changed for me. That it's me who is living my work. It is me who is living my holiday. I'm the one who's showing up for my life. So meditation or the work I did on myself is to reset and understand this I, who's showing up. It's me who is in a relationship. It's me who is going to work, creating the company. So first thing is integration. So I don't have Sunday, Mondays in my calendar, I choose to work every day. I choose to laugh every day and play every day. So my calendar, is more decided by friends who invite me for work. My contribution every day, I'm involved deeply in the work of Osho Foundation, in the digital part of it. So I dedicate a big part of my first 2 hours are dedicated to me. So if my first meeting is at 9 in the morning, I don't talk to anybody. I don't have my cell phone. So the first 2 hours of the day are for me. That's my commitment to myself, no matter where I am, no matter what. Then I take care of my important thing. Otherwise, the energy leaks throughout the day. What is important to me? Like if I have to do something difficult today, if I have to do something important today, I do that first. Once that is done, rest of the day is easy. Then I play. Yeah. So living your life as if you're on a big holiday.
And I want to tell our audience a secret. You're a wine connoisseur. You enjoy drinking wine.
Oh, yes,
because
I love wine.
a lot of people could think or have a perception that as you do the work for yourself and you become a meditation instructor or master, you give up certain things in order to make that work.
These wrong conceptions, attachments with meditation have created a lot of hassles in the world. That you have to be a monk, you have to sell your cars, you have to do this, you have to stand on your head. None of that. I think meditation is a lifestyle. Everything that is here, and that's what Osho, who I learned a lot from. I learned a lot of my living from his lifestyle. So I love this concept of Zorba the Buddha. So I enjoy what is on the outside. I enjoy what is my silence on the inside. I integrate both. I bring my silence in the world. I bring the worldly dance and joy inside. So for me, all is wonderful.
I cannot drink wine, but I share the thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to drink wine, by the way. It's just, an example
do
to
what
say
you
that,
enjoy.
do who you are. Be who you are. And integrate.
That's the right way to say it.
And not being like, we don't have to follow anything that is not you. I think the path of self-understanding and self-knowledge is also to understand who you are, and you use the word uniqueness or authenticity. We were born into this body, and there is something for this body to learn in this life. Yeah.
Responsibility, Thian. You want freedom, you have to take responsibility.
Yeah, freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Do whatever you feel you need to do, but be very clear that you have to take responsibility for it,
And it doesn't mean giving up anything, or it doesn't mean being away, being on yourself, being alone, separating yourself from the rest of society. It never means.
Never. Yeah.
It's actually the opposite.
True.
Because the way you are right now is that you are at the same time connected to people of the 25 countries who work with you.
Yes.
Yeah, who are mentally and spiritually connected with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
and even though we
them.
haven't met for more than 2 years,
yes.
our conversation is still the same
I
warm.
love that.
Yeah, I love it every time. I always feel having a chance to be in your presence.
Likewise, 10 years and so much fun. I was so enjoyed.
I haven't grown taller, and you're always just as huge and such an embracing energy whenever I have a chance to be in your presence. And today I'm so happy that finally I got to introduce you, share your story, also learn a lot from the way you approach life and the work that you are doing now. And I know it's going to be we talk about how we can actually make meditation as fun as possible for people.
Yeah.
And I really hope there is a chance for us to really do something that fun and meaningful and significant at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right here in Vietnam.
Absolutely, we will. And such an honor, Tien. Thank you. And such a joy. And really, every time I come here, it's a country that inspires me, the sincerity of the people and the work that is happening here around mindfulness, meditation, self-care, especially in the younger generation. I see people who are interested, so inspiring, so beautiful, and congratulations for what you're doing.
So to close the podcast, I always ask our speakers to share their thoughts or their experience about the word balance. And you just, very briefly, you say you don't like the word balance. Harmony is more like the word. But if you have to share, what it is balance for you.
What's in the balance? Think about balance even as an image, two sides, right? There's outer, there's inner, in, out, For me, balance, this whole craziness to balance the work life, balance this, that, it's putting so much pressure on yourself. Balance is the pivot point in the center. Think about the pendulum that keeps moving. People are trying to balance this. People are trying to balance this. It doesn't work, Tien. Balance is this unmoving point. And this unmoving point in the center of the circle or on the top of the balance is the stillness that is within. It's our art of witnessing and watching, not swinging with this, not swinging with this. Not going here, not going here. Balance to me is coming to that unmoving center in the storm or the top point. That's personally balance for me.
I will remember the image. Yeah, to be in the center, to not move.
Yeah.
Or be in move.
Where the pendulum pivots,
not juggle.
Yeah.
Of the two extremes.
There's so much stress people put on themselves that I want to balance my work life, my family life, my balance. What balance? Crazy. We put so much pressure on ourselves. You watch. One day you feel sad. One day you feel this. One day you're at work. But we are this, I'm the one who's doing this. I'm the one who's doing this. I'm experiencing all this. So this is what meditation teaches us. Take some distance from it. Become the observer. Become the witness of the game that is being played.
I've learned so much. And thank you so much for such a wonderful, open, heart-sharing conversation.
Always. It's choiceless with people with the heart. Thank you.
Thank you. So how do you feel now? And what do you think about the word success at the end of the conversation with Master Anil Chandwani? For me, what I've learned today is that success or even happiness, they are not the word or the goal that we have to have in life. I think the whole process of us learning the way to live and become successful and happy in life is to learn to become unique and true and authentic to ourselves. For me, it's all about our uniqueness. And that is my takeaway from the conversation, besides so many beautiful things that I have learned from Master Anil Chandwani. I am very grateful to have you with us in the podcast today. If you really enjoy what you hear, you can click on like, share, or subscribe to With Success on YouTube and other podcast platforms. Podcast On Balance will be aired every Tuesday at 8 p.m. every 2 weeks on With Success. Stay tuned for more beautiful conversations in the future. and I look forward to be with you again.